Welcome to the Mexico Grand Prix, one of my favourites and has a special place in my heart, as always. Do I need to say it again? Probably not. But there'll be a little message on the screen in case you don't know. Anyway, 6 more episodes to go. This is coming out Tuesday, this is on Sunday. I can't do this on Monday, this should have been done on Friday. Any questions? How did Q1 go? Oh, well, first lap, we were P3, 2 tenths behind Lewis in P1, who took Purple Sector 2 and Purple Sector 3. I had Purple Sector 1 with Max in P2. No one else is of important notice, so how about we just have a look at the full result of qualifying 1, me trying to delay it to 30 seconds each. And there is 30 seconds. Q1 finishes. We drop all the way down to 13th because we did not do a second lap. Clearly everyone else did. Max was P1, Lewis P2, me 4 tenths away from either of them. It's fine. No one of important notice got knocked out. And we're fine to continue straight over into Q2. Once 1 minute passes. I don't know what's gone over my images. It's doing the before shot after the after shots, which is really weird. Q2 started even better. We had 2 purple sectors this time, taking purple sector 2 from Lewis. He kept purple sector 3 in second place, 4 tenths behind us though. So we really came in clutch in the middle sector. Max was all day down in P9, not good for him, 8 tenths away from Lewis. The end of the session though, we stayed P1 with Hamilton P2 and Max P3, 3 tenths to Lewis, 4 tenths to Max. Max improving obviously needed to, he definitely would not have been safe I don't think. The cut-off was a 19.1, he did a 19.5 in that first one, so yeah, he was definitely not safe. Really surprising to see that Max had originally a slow lap. And again, in Q3, he was 9 tenths away from me in pole position. I had purple sector 1 and 2 again, missed out 2 tenths to Hamilton in purple sector 3. However, it didn't matter, we were 1.1 ahead of him anyway, he was in P6, with Gasly and Charles in P2 and 3, a minimum of 5 tenths away from me. I did a 18.2, which was a tenth quicker than sector 2, so I'm not sure on why the gap was so large. Q3, at the end, Lewis closed in to about 3 tenths, Max to 4 tenths, P2 and 3. So yeah, the AI has been a little bit weird, but I wouldn't mind that in the race, obviously, because then we have a larger gap than really we should have, and that would make it easier to win. So let's go do that. I don't normally do this, but there were a lot of stuff that was funny. So at the end of the clip, if you don't notice, Crofty says some stuff in the loading screen, so I want you to have a listen to both of what he says, when it loads in and after. Waiting. Verstappen spins. Verstappen takes lead. The clips are chosen randomly, I know that for a fact. So the fact that those two came right after each other was brilliant. I honestly couldn't stop laughing. See, if you didn't hear that, just go back and play it at higher volume. I hope I didn't talk over any of them. I'm going to check, make sure that I didn't. Anyway, here's the second of the 6 clips. I don't think I mentioned that. Yeah, there's 6 of them. So we're going to practice for round 20. Looks like it's going to be sunny. Click to go into practice, not qualifying. Loads in. Here's normal cutscene stuff. that I don't show you anymore. Definitely changing how I format my videos for F123 because this format takes a long time to do. So yep, the normal pick a random driver. However, the abnormal skip practice and go straight to results. I was really confused, however I was able to get back into practice, so it's fine. And now here's the third clip. End of practice. I don't know what I did on my soft tyre quali practice run. I think I invalidated. I think someone hit me actually. But here we are, end of practice.
It's time to remind ourselves of our top three. Who are
we dropped all the way down. That's fine.
And that's it.
Normally we go straight to a menu if you play Grand Prix mode. But no, we're straight into qualifying. I have no idea what's going on. And also I realised that the fourth clip was actually the third clip, so this is in the wrong place. This should be after the next clip. However, it should be fine. But yeah, this straight to quali thing really confused me. No practice, not allowed that now that I'm a champion. And straight to quali after the practice. Now here we are back during practice. And what is it? Well, we're on our sixth lap, just invalidated, very naughty, on our hard tyres, doing a ERS management strat. Coming up to Lewis, he's on the medium tyres. I don't believe he's blinking yet, but he will be on the next lap, as he is going to come in. So he'll swiftly get out of our way, down the main straight. So here we go, heading towards turn 1. Now starting our tyre management. And there goes Lewis, pulls over to the inside. Red light blinking, into turn 1. He's behind us by over a car length. Comes into turn 1 and decides to hit me. Very weird, and no penalty for it, luckily. I know the game can be weird like that sometimes.
Welcome to the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez, the location for today's race. The cars are out on the grid, so let's join the action down on the track. At 2,285 meters above sea level, the thin air of the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez poses a unique challenge, not just to a driver's skill, but to the efficiency of their engines as well. 17 corners then make a lap of this 2.6-mile circuit, expect incredible speeds in excess of 220 miles per hour, and overtaking into the braking zones of turn 1 and turn 4. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. What a qualifying yesterday for George Russell. He'll start today's race from pole position. And it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Sainz, Lando Norris and Gasly, Leclerc, Albon, Ocon and Mick Schumacher, Fernando Alonso, Joe, Kevin Magnussen and Perez, Stroll, Bottas, Sebastian Vettel and Daniel Ricciardo, Tsunoda and Nicholas Latifi. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track where preparations are underway. Anthony Davidson joins me once again in the commentary box. Ant, it's fantastic to have you with us here, but I'm curious, as a man with experience out on the track, how do you stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
Well, I imagine they'll be starting to feel the adrenaline as they anticipate the rundown into turn 1, a bit like preparing to go into battle. The unknown situation will bring nerves, but that's a good thing. It will keep them focused on the moment and on their surroundings as we build towards the start of the Grand Prix.
So they're talking about nerves this time, not me, which is nice to know. Don't like people talking behind my back, even though I don't care, which is well, I don't like them talking behind my back if I know they're talking about behind my back. That includes real life. I don't care if you're talking behind my back, unless I know about it. Anyway, softs and to mediums. A range of strategies were in the race director. If you had a look, there was a couple mediums, and less hards. We're gonna have a look at seeing if the hards are worth it. A medium hard strat, 1 stop, can't even get closer to 1 second away from the free stop here. Medium hard. How does that look? Looks better. 4 attempts, less than 2 attempts. Less, it's quicker. Only just though. However, it is 10 seconds slower than the soft medium. So we're going to change it to medium soft. 28 and 27. And then change it a little bit to make it the best. And the baseline worked pretty well. Slightly slower, but soft tyres at the end. I think it will be perfect. Are we going to change to that strategy though? No. Of course not. That was a waste of time then. I really should have changed the alternate strategy to the exact same strategy, but a different plan. Well, start on the same tyres at least. Because otherwise the alternate strategy is just a waste of time. And no point. So anyway, take out the fuel. Enough to gain a 100th of a lap every lap. Let's go win this thing. I am back recording the audio on my phone because my laptop's had enough. However, yeah, it probably took me too long to go back to my phone. However, this is the 24th of June, 1 day after the Austria and France Grand Prix, Hungary Grand Prix recordings for the audio. So, yeah, to be honest, I've only edited Miami, Canada, Austria. I've only edited about 3 races that have had the issue, so it's not too bad, but you're probably going to get about 10 more until it fixes itself. Anyway, we're at the Mexico Grand Prix for round 20 of the championship, episode 99 in the Project Ultimate for this game. We're on pole, Lewis is alongside us, Max in P3. Let's see how the race finishes. I don't see why we can't get 8 extra points on Max. So the 5 red lights are out, and we get an okay start. However, Max and Lewis get much better starts, and immediately Lewis is ahead of us and Max is in between, behind Lewis and alongside me. However, he pulls to the inside of Lewis as Lando pulls to the outside of us. Little contact with me and Lando, little contact with Lewis and Max. The contact with Lando was caused by Lando trying to turn in when I wasn't, and Lewis turned in too much on Max into turn 1. However, heading into turn 4, Lewis locks up, probably caused by the damage that he received. Lando received no damage, and neither did I. I believe Max got no damage as well, and we're now back up into P2, sneaking down the inside of turn 5, round the outside of turn 6, and P2 by turn 7. I'm going to try and do no on board this race, see how that works. However, we're going to have to go on board with me for that first bit so we can see what actually happened. Wrong way. So, 5 red lights and they are out. Get an okay start, to be honest. Up into second gear quite quickly. However, pretty much as we turn on the ERS, Lewis is already ahead of us. I thought Lewis was on the far right on the circuit, so I kind of hoped that Max was boxed in, but he wasn't. Little contact from Lando. Lewis turned in too much. We ran over his front wing. No damage for us. And we're P3 still. Tried to get a good run on Lewis, however, we weren't using overtake. And so Lewis got back ahead. However, into turn 4, Lewis locked up. Very close to contact at the front. But round the outside, turn 6 and turn 7, we can hit the apex to BP2. All in all, very good start for Max. 2 positions, both of them on a Merc. So, anything else lap 1? Yes, Kevin Magnussen. Contact collision warning. Contact and collision are the exact same thing. I don't know why I said it twice. Oh, Kevin. Right into the back of Stroll. Front wing damage, and rightly deserved a collision warning. Not really. I don't think that would have been a warning in real life. Ow, ow. I've just kicked and hit my calf on my wheel. I know some people say calf, but if you look at how it's spelled, there's no R or V, so it's calf. I don't care what you say in the comments, I'm going to keep saying it like that. Because you're never going to hear me say that again, probably, hopefully. I have no reason to be talking about my calf in these videos. But I am right now, so let's skip past that. Lap 3, Fernando Alonso. So, obviously, Lewis and Kevin came into the pits at the end of that lap. What happened with Fernando? Lap 3. Tries to go around the outside of Leclerc. Nothing doing there. Sainz trying to go around the outside of Gasly. Tried to go down the inside now. Charles trying to get in. Fernando not being able to do anything as well. Let's see, I believe it would be a collision warning. Although it might be with Albon behind. Oh, here we go. A little bit of contact with Gasly. Gasly's got some front wing damage, probably off of Sainz. And Fernando gets 2 for the price of 1. Up into P6. Nicely done. A little bit of contact that went a little bit dirty, but I don't think there was much he could really have done. Yeah. I mean, he could have gone to the escape road, but that'd be an illegal overtake. So, next up, lap 4. Mick Schumacher and Sergio Perez. Leave collision warning with each other. Oh no! Or not. So, on board with Schumacher. This is quite important actually, because this brought out a safety car. So, on board with Schumacher, following Schumacher, battling with Sergio Perez, gets ahead for now. Heading into turn 1, it's 4-car DRS train. Heading into turn 1, a little bit of contact, and just drives straight into the back of Valtteri Bottas. Front left sheared off, just like Joe did last season against Verstappen, and he is out of the race. Wow. So, gonna go on board with Schumacher. Ending to turn 1. Just brakes so late. Hits Valtteri and is out. What about Sergio? Does he give him a little push? I know he gets a warning, but I think it's a little bit harsher. It's collision warning just for that. He got front wing damage. Come on. Look at the U. Yep. Look at you. Haha. You're broken. I don't know what was funny about that. I don't know why I said it as if it was supposed to be a joke. Anyway, that brought out the safety car. We, still behind Max at this point, almost running into the back of him. In fact, we even touched him. Somehow, no front wing damage. I am very lucky from that. Because obviously we're on the corner, I can't see that the safety car's out yet, and Max just immediately slows down. Like Japan, I think that could be classed as brake checking. I mean, what's his speed? 60? 50, 40? No, he stays at 40. There's no brake checking there. Good boy, Max, you learnt from Japan. So, safety car. Caught up to it, lap 5. Lap 6, gonna come in at the end. So, we are gonna follow like lap 1 for the first part. So, warming up our tyres, knew it'd come in at the end of this lap, making sure we got tyres to a good level. Really hard on the restart for me. I just can't seem to get them in the right window. Helped Lewis quite a bit actually, brought him back into train, same with Magnussen. Vettel had to pit for some reason, not sure why. But we're going to get underway for the restart of the race in just a second. Really close to Max. Are we going to be able to get the jump on him? He's starting the race again, so probably not. A little bit close to him, nice start from us. However, lack of ERS usage. No, I did use ERS. Different ERS usage, and so Lando closes in, goes down the inside, tried to go down the inside of Max as well. Fernando now Ocon goes down the inside. A little bit of contact at the apex of turn 3 did not give him enough space, but it's fine, no damage, and he keeps position, so I don't think that's a penalty. I'll have to have a look though. So, gonna go on board with Ocon then. We will be able to see Lando overtake us and see if we should be given a penalty. Down the inside goes Lando. Tries to go down the inside of him. Not really. Kind of just brakes normally, but Max kind of has the door. He's not forced off the circuit, just given very little space. Very good thing that I missed the apex there. I did not see him in my mirrors. I was too busy focusing on Lando, who just made the most stupid dive on Max ever. So anyway, that's the race. That's the race restart. Lance Stroll and Zhou Guan Yu got a collision warning, most likely at turn 1. Maybe not. Oh, there we go. Perez and Albon battling. Gonna slow up the pack. Is Zhou gonna go into the back of Stroll? No. What? I'm so confused now. So many AI, and they don't lose time. Whereas as soon as I do that, I don't know if I showed it in practice last season. As soon as I do that, I'm in a spin. So yeah, here's the collision warning. Just a little love tap in the third sector. Nothing major. No front wing damage from what I can see. There's stuff in the way on my left hand side, so I can't see the Alfa Romeo front wing. But it looks fine. And that's lap 7. Next up, lap 26 for Daniel Ricciardo. Sorry about the voice crack. Oh, probably should do my pit stop, shouldn't I? So, lap 16, we're going to come in at the end of this lap for our first planned pit stop off the soft tyres onto the mediums. Max has already pit a couple of laps ago, so he will get back ahead of us. However, we're going to have the fresher tyres, so we should be able to use them to our advantage. Hopefully he's not too far down the road. And oh, I didn't even show me getting back ahead of Lando. Whoops. I'll go back and show you that. So into the box, no speeding, purple turning, tyres off, tyres on, good release, perfect release if you ask me, and we're going to rejoin the race behind the two Ferraris who are on mediums or hards, and behind Max, just there, who is now on the mediums as well. New mediums, in fact. Just like we are. So back into the race, 3 seconds. Slowly going to go creep up into 4 seconds. Bring the tyres nice and easy into the race. And there's only 3.5 seconds to max. So, we should be good. And we'll be able to chase after max. Once we get these tyres warmed up, it'll probably be 4 seconds by the end of the lap. Because we have got cold tyres. So, we're going to go back to lap 7. Because I re-overtook Lando on the exact same lap. I think it might be better if I did this. Because now you can't see what I did. So, following Lando, I could see that he was really slow through the middle sector. If you just watch. Look at it. Just over 1 second to max. Through the snaky section. Over the curbs, very slow. 1.3 quickly becomes 1.5, very slow. So we knew how to get past him very early. Lock up from Lando down the inside into the third sector. If he was still on my outside, would have had no space. But he decided to try and do a switchback. Didn't quite work, not a long enough section, and we were back up into P2. Very good. So now we can go back to where we were. When did Max pit? Lap 13. We had 2 seconds to max. Out of the box. Lap 18, 4 seconds. So we lost 2 seconds to max. Not that bad, to be honest. 3-4 laps extra tyres. Laps on the new tyres. Yeah, kind of makes sense. So, gonna try and chase him down now. And we're doing just that. Sainz now into the box. Off those hard tyres onto meat. Wait, what? Why are you pitting lap 20? Okay. Strategy brain does not make sense for Ferrari. What a surprise though. So, Sainz box, win LP3, closing into max 2 seconds by lap 22. In DRS by lap 25. Charles Cummins in on the end of that, on the end of lap 24 as well. So now we've got a shot at Max. Let's see if we can get him. However, we're gonna have to go straight to Daniel Ricciardo for lap 26. He retires from the race. Spoiler. And let's see how it happened. Joe trying to go around the outside. I don't actually know where it is. Yeah, I do. I saw it. Into sector 2. Puff of engine. No. Puff of smoke. Pulls over to the side. No puff of smoke. What am I saying? Out of the race he goes. And that increases my chance of a retirement at the end of the season when I come to do that. So, back to the action. Lap 27, nothing doing for me at the moment. 4 tenths to max at the end of that straight. 5 tenths at the beginning on lap 28. Nothing doing yet. However, 3 tenths on lap 29. This is the best, this is the closest we've been in a while. Let's see if we can go down the inside. Going towards the inside and ahead, even before the brake zone. And gave Mark enough time to compliment me on the overtake even before the brake zone. So we're now up into P1, see if we can break the DRS and win the race. Got over half the race to go. Should be easy. No need for on board. So lap 30. Do I show? No, because nothing happened. There was a lot of going back and forth with me and Max. However, I'm not going to show all of it because I can't remember all the laps. And Seb Vettel's got more important things to say. Actually. Ahaha. So, into sector 2 for Sebastian. Pulling over to the side, just like Ricardo. However, a little bit earlier this time, a little bit more out the way. And into the wall. Okay, so the AI don't know that that wall is there. He is out. That does count as mechanical retirement, though. A mechanical retirement, though. And wow, okay. Brought out the safety car, and Max had just bit. So he does not get the full safety car. Safety car gets deployed now, about now. And so I'm going to come in at the end of this lap. Very good strategy choice. Like the strategy said, we were going to come in lap 43. However, safety car, catch it, lap 38, comes in lap 39, 4 laps earlier. I think it's a good call, to be honest, if you ask me. I don't see anything wrong with coming in an extra lap earlier. So, we're going to come in, get off these medium tyres, go on to another set of medium tyres, fresh ones. That'll take us the final 32 laps. And yeah, it's earlier than we planned, but it's the exact same. It's pretty much the exact same as Max. So it's not like it's gonna affect us differently. It should affect us both. The equal, the same, and so yeah, nothing wrong. Gonna come back out into the race, P1. Thank you, safety car. Not gonna lose all the time that we probably would have, being on the track 6 laps later than Max to come in for a stop. And there is Max out into the lead under safety car. Very good call, if you ask me. So yeah, we're gonna catch the safety car at the end of this straight. Safety car should come in at the end of the next lap then, and we'll have 32 laps to go. So, in fact, safety car actually came in, stayed out for an extra lap, so it came in at the end of lap 40. So we only had 31 laps to deal with these medium tyres, which is very good. So, in actuality, we only came in, to be honest, we only really came in 3 laps earlier. Because we won't have used these tyres much on the safety car. Despite how aggressively I tried to warm them up, we won't have used them too much. And so we're going to have the full potential of these tyres for 31 laps. Not bad if you ask me. So, backing up the pack, sticking to about a 60 mile an hour limit. Gonna have to go slower through this part of the circuit. Hopefully you can get a good launch and stay ahead of Max and the Ferraris. Lewis, after lap 1, has made a very good comeback to get P5. Perez from Q2 knockout is P6, very good from him. But we're gonna get back underway, and immediately we pull him to the inside to defend. Max is already in the slipstream. However, Carlos is closer to him than he is to us. But heading into turn 1, Max is going to go down the outside. Lewis is going to try and go around the inside of Charles. We're staying ahead of Max. Heading into turn 2, Lewis, battling both Ferraris, is now up into P3. Heading into turn 4 though, is Max going to have another opportunity? He looks at it, he's going to go down the inside. Little bit of contact, it looks like. Up into stay in P1 though, and Lewis is up into P3. Hopefully he don't have to make another pit stop, but I think he will, as this is a great position. Even though I'm not sure, I'll have to check the constructors, I can't remember. So, on boards now. Might as well go on board with Lewis, as he did all the overtaking. Down the inside, Charles Carlos leaves the door open as well. I stay ahead of Max. No contact in the first 3 corners, very good job from all of us. And Max then has a second go heading into turn 4. Is there contact? Nope, I just wiggle a little bit. I make sure that I gave him space. Very clean. And stay in P1. Very good job. So, 30 laps to go. What's next? Well, lap 51. Very slow lap. Don't remember what I did. Max still within DRS range, unfortunately. Couldn't break out of it. Cloud coverage is coming over a little bit. Oh yeah. And it is cooling the track a little bit. So we are picking up some pace, however, going wide in the stadium section is not going to help that. And it's going to give Max an opportunity to have another go at us. By this point in the race, Lewis had made a second pit stop, unfortunately. Carlos has also pitted, and so has Charles. But if you look at the gaps, very unfortunately, Lewis and Carlos have just come out behind the DRS train. Whereas Charles come out just ahead. Which brings Sergio to P3. I think there was a little bit of contact here. Just a little bit. Just a little love tap. However, I think we have to go to lap 47 because I think there's a major contact here. No. What am I thinking of? I can't remember what I'm thinking of. I think I might have been overtaking. Wait, how did I miss this overtake? No, I didn't. What? Okay, I'm so confused. I've missed something. I know I've missed something because my car didn't like it. Okay, that's what I just showed. Okay, I missed something, and I will find it. So we did break out of DRS at one point, however, Max got back into it as he got used to the cooler track conditions and he picked up pace again. Very unfortunately for us. I am so confused. I have missed something and I don't know what lap it was. I thought it was in the 40s, but maybe not. I'm sure it's in the 40s. I know it's not 42, is it? Wait, I know it's not 41. Is it 42? What side did I defend? Lap 41? Inside. I'm so confused. Basically, I defended. Well, I didn't defend, and Max just nipped down the inside. Little bit of contact, set my rear into a half spin, but I can't find out what lap it happens. Oh, here it is. So yeah, Max is really nowhere near, only gets close into brake zone, not even alongside, tries going down the inside. I give him plenty of space. He doesn't really use it effectively because of how he dive bombed me, and a little bit of contact set my rear a little sideways. It was so weird. Like, why are you dive bombing from that far back? Yeah, okay, I probably could have given him a little bit more space, but what the hell is he doing? Like, come on. If you're going to make the dive, at least make sure there's space to do it. Anyway, 51, we already done. Last but not least, 71. So, at this point, Max had the fastest lap. And it was a 120.9. I had a 121.0. And I thought, you know what, I don't need it, but let's go for it. And decided to start saving my battery. However, what really confused me was I started saving battery now, lap 68, 69, not using any battery, just a little bit there. None on the main straight, a little bit there. Actually, did I use any on the main straight? No, none on the main straight. Just a little here. And somehow, that came across the line to set a 120.9 quicker than Max's 120.9. Only just. Like, a couple of hundredths. However, I wasn't told this, so I kept saving ERS. In lap 71, I went for it. Of course I did. And I was 3 tenths up by the end of turn 1. I had no ERS left. 3 tenths up, sector 2. Very good. However, a little mistake here, and we started losing 2 tenths. I have now only gained 1 tenth. Heading into the twisty section, the tyre said no. And I have no idea what the hell happened. But the car just spun out. Lost 10 seconds to Max. Okay, 6 seconds, but getting back underway. 10 seconds to Max. Plus the gap I already had over him, which was about 1 second. What the hell? My tyres weren't that dead, come on. Surely. So we come across the line to finish P2. And I thought Max had the fastest lap, but no. He didn't. And I had it. So I didn't need to push. But I did, because I thought I needed to. But I didn't. All because Mark told me. Mark didn't tell me that I got the fastest lap, which is why I need to set up my telemetry app. Because one of my ideas is that I will add its own engineer. And so I can add my own lines. And literally, I'm just going to add all of Mark's lines. All of the options that you can select from in-game. I'm just going to add that into my telemetry app. But have me talking instead. And give the information that's also useful. And also add on some extra radio messages. Like, instead of teammate and rival status, how about positional status? So, I don't know, you're in the middle of a race, you're P2, my telemetry app, the idea is that I can ask who's P5, what's going on with P5. Or, if I don't care about P5, but I care about the driver, like Max, when he pitted, where's Max? What position is he? Is my pit rejoin position ahead of his? That's what I want to know. So I need to set up my telemetry app so that I can do that. But there's no point doing it for F1 22. We've got 2 races left and 23. Well, it's out, so I might as well just set it up for 23. I have no idea what happened. I didn't hit the curb. The car just didn't like it. To be honest, that is so much wider than I've normally been. I've normally been about here on a good lap. If I'm here, I'm normally quite slow. So the fact that I was here and going quite quick tyres probably didn't like that. And it's not like it's not wheel spin. It is the tires just dying. Did I need to do the throttle here? Probably, because if you look at the point just before, I'm pretty much perpendicular to the circuit. I probably would have only done a 180 spin. However, I still end up going the other way anyway. So I probably didn't need to do that. But it don't matter. I finished P2, 13 seconds ahead of Perez, 10 seconds behind Max. No penalties for either of us three. Okay, maybe one for me with what happened with Ocon, but it doesn't change anything. What is interesting though is Ocon retired. Ah! Damn it. Ocon retired at the end of the race. I don't know what happened to him. I want to look. Because it said he completed Sector 1 and I think Sector 2. But it didn't say he completed Sector 3. And it was really weird, as I just remembered, that he was up here. He was close enough that I made contact with him. So I'm really confused with what happened. Did his engine go pop? No. He completed Sector 2. It's just the game's done its usual thing of screwing everyone over. Although it didn't screw me over, it was very unfortunate that happened. Yeah, I've just got to be careful of the tyre wear next time. It was a fun fight with Max. Unfortunately, we didn't win. We should have though. We only have 84 points to win now. And if we max out, I say max out, if you get 1-2 in the next 2 races and sprint, I will have 101 points. If I retire from any races that I've won, there'll be a 34 point swing. I'll only be safe from 2 retirements, which doesn't sound a lot. It's not a lot. We only retired once last season, but that was only because we used Alonso. We only had one other Alpine Renault power unit, and that was Fernando, and he retired twice. One of which was at this race. And so, how many Merc units we have? Well, we have Mercedes, McLaren, Aston Martin, and Williams. That's 8 units. I'm one of them, so we can take away 1. So that's 7. Lewis, Lando, Ricciardo, Vettel, Stroll, Albon, and Latifi. There's 25 sessions in this season, 22 races plus 3 sprints. So times 25 by 7, 175. 2 mechanical retirements from Aston and McLaren. That increases my chances of a retirement by 1%. So it is still, if these were the only 2 retirements this season, which they're not, the average or the expected value of how many times I'd retired this season is 0.28. I'm expecting to retire 0.28 times. However, there's several times that a Merc unit is blown up this season, so I'll have to count them all, make sure they're all correct, and then, just like I did last season, record me using a random number generator. Unfortunately, I won't be able to do 175 using Google, so I'll have to use Excel, because I can't use code because for some reason my laptop doesn't like recording Python, which is weird. So yeah, I have to use Excel's random number generator, which is fine, because I don't have to blur out so much and I don't have to worry about my face being on camera. So anyway, Crofty has said we are Constructors Champions. Whether this race has made that happen, I don't think it did. But it's good nonetheless. And I'll see you in Brazil. Well, technically the race review, but you'll see this version of me in Brazil for episode 100. That one, I am making sure that I am winning both the sprint and the race. I don't care about first lap though. Well, I do, but I'm going to try and make sure that I've cared so little that I can still win the race. Anyway, I've waffled long enough. This part of the video is 20 minutes longer than I want it to be. I'm going to have to change my video style for F1 23. But I've got plenty of time before that happens. So, yeah. See ya. Here are the 5th and 6th clips of this episode. So anyway, lap 4, you know that this is the safety car lap. We're closing in on Max. I honestly can't remember what I did in the highlights. But I do know, I'm pretty sure I talked about it, I collided into the back of Max. Now you might not be able to hear damage at the contact, but I'll go quiet just in case.
Right, drop your speed, our delta's too low and we're going to risk a penalty. Slow your pace immediately.
I mean, I just saw in the periphery there that the safety car was there. No damage, luckily. But I don't know if you would have noticed it, but I don't think I could have reacted to that safety car in time. And it's not like Max did anything wrong really. He kind of just slowed down. Like I say in the Monday morning debrief, it's not like he brake checked me. However, I would have been annoyed if I did break my front wing. But yeah, you can't just slow down like that. I don't care if it's a safety car, you don't slow down like that. And I feel like my engineer should have done better telling me. Like, I didn't get told about the safety car until I was down in the Delta. Anyway, this is the second bit of contact with Max. This time at turn 1. Looks at the inside, never alongside. Going into the corner, he gleans on me. And then gives me a little bit of contact. Nice little kiss on the rear. Big old smooch. And sends me into a quarter of a spin. More likely an eighth. Very weird. Welcome to the Monday morning review of the Mexican Grand Prix. With only 3 races to go, trying to maximise the points that we gain over Max and therefore minimise the damage any retirements would cause. In attendance we have Bobbi Winter, the driver, his race engineer Mark Priestley, the team principal of the team, Toto Wolf, and the head of strategy, Rosie Waite. Without further ado, let's see how the race went and see if we get. Well, we already know the result. Let's see if where we can improve. So the race results: the podium was Verstappen, Perez, and Verstappen, Yu, and Perez. Lewis was all the way down in 9th, and yeah, Verstappen won the race. However, we took the fast lap, but there's no other point. So yeah, we were on for a good result. We were on to get P1. We would not have beaten Red Bull in this race purely because of Perez being up in 3rd whilst Lewis was down in 9th, gaining 13 points on him. We would have only been able to gain 8 on Verstappen. However, that is much better than losing 21 points to Red Bull. We'd rather lose 5 points than 19, I think, is the actual gain. Yeah. We would rather have lost 5 points than 19. So, just need to work on your time management towards the end of the race. I know it caught you off guard, however, you you did extend that stint, so you should have been aware that there was going to be some tyre wear towards the end. We're not putting the blame fully on you, but we're just saying you need to be more aware of your situation, and you can't always be pushing the final 10 laps. And if you even if you want to, you can. You just got to save the tyres somewhere else. Okay. How does it affect the Drivers' Championship? Well, Bobby, you're first, of course. Verstappen's P2 and Hamilton's P3. 2 more retirements on Mercedes power units. Today it was Ricciardo and Vettel. And however, we don't need any good points purely because we have won the championship, and so it'd just be irrelevant saying, oh, we gained on this person, or this one's outside the target point gap, because it doesn't matter. All of them are outside the remaining points gap. So, yeah, a little bit annoying that Max did gain points on us purely because of the 2 more retirements. However, we've still got about 25 main competitive sessions this season, and there's been less retirements than that so far. So the predicted retirements this season is going to be less than 1, which is really impressive. Well done to the Mercedes power unit guys. And what's even more impressive is the fact that Lewis has had little to none no power unit failures, whereas they've been mostly happening to Ricciardo, Stroll and Vettel. Norris I don't think has had any. Latifi's had a couple. I don't think Albon's had any, so I don't think we need to worry too much. But obviously we do need to maintain a good gap, because otherwise we could lose it. How does the Constructors' Championship look? Well, we're in first, of course. Red Bull second and Ferrari third. There's still a fight for the second place, however Red Bull do get the advantage from that one. Red Bull scored more points, however we do not need any good points. So yeah. Obviously, your retirements will affect us in the Constructors' Championship as well. However, Lewis has been performing very good compared to Perez as well, and Sainz really. So we don't need to worry really about retirements for the Constructors' Championship. Obviously, we do not want them to happen, of course, but if they do happen, it's less of a threat to the Constructors' result than it is the Drivers' result. So we've got Lewis. We don't necessarily need you to finish for the Constructors. We need you to finish for the Drivers, Bobby. Okay? I know, obviously, you know that. It's just you've had a bit of an unlucky streak at the moment. We kind of need you to get back on track. So, how did the race lap graph look? Well, there was only 2 yellows, and none of them were in the first stint. They were both in the final stint. Only 1-stop strategy. No, sorry, 2-stop strategy, medium, medium, hard. First mediums was interrupted by a safety car. However, after that, pretty much a solid straight line. The second stint was a little bit wobbly until the safety car, where it flattened the line out a little bit, and then got the 1 yellow lap, and then it wiggled a little bit like a sine wave, which is upside down. Then it became a flat line again till the final lap. So yeah, only 2 yellows. However, despite extending the last stint, it was near a straight line, and both safety cars helped with initial consistency. So yeah, I can understand your point about the tyres just randomly letting go. You were performing, the lap times were pretty consistent, no sign of drop off. Nothing had happened in that final corner anyway. Nothing had happened in that corner anyway beforehand, so you wouldn't have known that pushing would have spun you. However, you did not need to push. You did have already the fastest lap. However, Mark does have to take a little bit of blame of that for not telling you that you had the fastest lap. We do need to work on him only telling you what is the fastest lap. Yeah, if he told you who has the fastest lap, you probably wouldn't have had to push as hard. But yeah, you got it a couple of laps earlier. I think the lap graph even shows it lap 69. It looks like, yeah. You didn't have to push, but we didn't tell you that. So, the Mexican Grand Prix in 8 images. Bobbi, obviously, you sent in lap 71 and Q3 result. Mark, you sent in the contact with Max under the first safety car and the race result. Toto, you sent in the race result and the Q3 result. Rosie, you sent in the retirement for Ricardo and the safety car, the second safety car pit stop. So yes, like we've already said, lap 71. Tyres just let go. Did happen randomly, but we kind of should have expected it towards the end. We did extend the stint, etc. Just unfortunate that Max was so close and that it did happen at the end of the race. If it didn't, if it happened before any of the safety cars, we would have been bunched up, we would have been behind, and we would have at least been able to recover a little bit. If we had only lost the position to Max, as we did here. However, being lap 71, there was no time to close in. So, but I guess that's when tyre wear's most at its worst. Sorry. However, we got pole position, and that's really good. Shows that we got pace. 2 win, 3 tenths over Lewis. I do believe it was bigger before the other drivers set their lap times. So yeah, we do have the pace to win. Obviously, we won the championship. We just need to show it again, get back on track, and make sure that Max doesn't close in too much. Mark, you sent in these 2 images. Yeah, we did collide with Verstappen twice. The first one, we collided into the back of him. The second one, he collided into the back of us. And we took the fast lap, of course. So, yeah, the first bit of contact was caused by the safety car. Max slowed down to keep to the delta. Unfortunately, Bobbi, you did not see that the safety car was out yet. And so you did not know that Max would be slowing down. Yeah, it's a little bit dangerous for Max. However, it's at low speed already. So we cannot really say that he brake checked you, unlike Japan. So yeah, we just got to be more aware of the safety car, and maybe give a little bit more of a warning over the radio and etc. Because the first radio Mark told you about safety car was the fact that you were going below delta, not that the safety car was out. So need to be a little bit better on that side, and we just need to be a little bit better with communication overall. Obviously, fast lap, we had it. We didn't need you to push. However, Mark did not tell you needed to, and this is a good point, I know. Fast lap is great. It minimises the loss of second place to only 6 points instead of 8. So yeah, good job on getting a fast lap, even when you didn't mean to at that time. But yeah, we move forward, and it's just a little bit annoying that Max was the one that was P1. I don't know, I'm trying to make a bad point from a good point. So I'm just a little bit tired at the moment. Yeah, good on the fast lap. We got it. We got an extra point. That's good. At least Max didn't get it. Toto, your two images were purely about Lewis finishing poorly and finishing well. P9 in the race, whereas he finished P2 in qualifying. Yes, he did finish P9 in qualifying. In the race, sorry. Very unfortunate, seeing as he did start the race in P2. He was our buffer to Max. However, I believe he did get damage at the beginning, hence 3 stops instead of 2 stops for everyone around him. So he did well to get to 9th. We would have liked him to have been a little bit higher. However, he was a pit stop behind everyone after the first lap, and didn't really catch up until the first safety car. So can't really ask much more from Lewis. However, when you finish P2 in qualifying, you do feel a bit disappointed with only P9 in the race. We could have got a 1-2. Would Max have been there if Lewis was up there? Maybe Max and Lewis would have fought. However, Max has been quite good in this season, so maybe not. But it would have been nice to have a little bit of a buffer to the lead. Not saying Lewis should play driver 2, especially since Charles is closing in, catching him in the drivers. We do want Lewis to maximise the amount of points he gets. So last but not least, Rosie, your 2 images. Daniel, his retirement, and the safety car caused by Vettel's retirement. So yeah, 2 more Mercedes blowouts. Like I said, Ricciardo and Vettel. I believe that brings the total to about 15, maybe a bit less, maybe a bit more. However, I do know it is less than 21, the amount of rounds that we've had, and 23, 22. This is round 20, sorry. Less than 22, definitely, because that is the amount of main sessions we've had, being the 22 races and the 3 sprints. Obviously, at this point, 20 races and 2 sprints. So yeah, we don't want any more Mercedes blowouts. So if the team can work on reliability, that would be very nice. But obviously, we know we're not safe from retirements. Obviously, Max has had quite a few this season. Very unlucky. However, if you're going to win, you need the team behind you. Obviously, yeah, we could say that without those retirements, Max would have won. Well, you can say that about any driver in any championship, in any year. Are we still going to celebrate like we've won the championship, like we deserve to win a championship? Yes, of course we are. We just want to make sure that we do win the championship. Okay. And then the second safety car helped us a lot. Yes, Max had just pit, so we were able to get an undercut on him. overcut on him. Sorry. And safety car meant that we definitely came out ahead of him because we had pitted a couple laps later. However, it did change the amount of pushing we had to do. I was literally kind of ignored that, Bobbi. Although we didn't really tell you that. So, no blame on you there. Just a little bit unfortunate that the extension of the stint by about a couple of laps affected the entire race result. Changed the top 2 result. So, that's it. Thank you for listening to the Monday morning review of the Mexican Grand Prix. We've got the Brazilian Grand Prix up next. Your final favourite circuit on the calendar, Bobbi. Got a sprint race as well, so less practice. Obviously, you only use one practice anyway. But we'll go well, I predict, and I'll see you all there. This is normal me again. When I said that I'm really tired, not really, just a bit tired, it's because I'm doing this in the morning on a Sunday. I don't normally do this on the weekend in the morning, purely because that's normally when I go on the Xbox and play the game. However, I've finished my season and I don't want to start the new game until I've finished all of this. So, what's better? Well, finishing all this. So, yeah. This is actually going out today. No, it's not. Sorry, this is going out Tuesday. I don't know why I got that mixed up. So, yeah. All the races will be done next week if I can follow my timeline. The week after will be all the time trial and AI test stuff, and then after that will be the F123 content. If you have any suggestions that you want me to do inside or outside Project Ultimate, just drop them down in the comments. I know you don't like using them. I put the championship, the debriefs and reviews in the bottom as well. I'll see if I can get them out earlier this time. Japan, I'm looking at you. Then, yeah, got nothing else to say. So I hope you have a good rest of your day. And I'll see you in Brazil. Most likely, the Mexico video weekend clips. Bye.